So, hello guys, welcome to the 14th lecture of the chapter pair of linear equations in two variable. So in the last lecture, we solved few examples based upon the equation reducible to the linear form, right? They would have given us in the fractional form in which in denominator there were variables and we reduced them to the linear form by substituting it by, like for example, 1 by x equal to p, 1 by y equal to q, and substituting them we reduced it to the linear form, right? That's the concept which we learned in the last lecture. We also saw an interesting question which was based upon the boat, right? When it goes to the upstream and it comes back to the downstream, the time taken. We also used a physics formula of speed equal to distance by time, and then we found the answer. So let's go ahead guys. In this lecture we'll be doing exercise 3.6. right? So this exercise is also based upon equations reduce. We have to reduce them. Solve the following pair of equations by reducing them to a pair of linear equations. It's the same concept guys. So in the first question there are 8 sub questions. I have written 4 sub questions here. First we'll solve each of them step by step. We'll solve them here and then we'll write down another 4 sub questions and we'll also solve them. After that we'll go to the second question which further has 3 sub questions. Those are a bit verbal questions, right? We are already given us the equation. In that we have to formulate the equations and then we have to solve them. That's your second question of this exercise. That would be like second part, right? In this part we'll try to complete the 8 questions maybe in this lecture, right? So let's go ahead guys without wasting much time. So the first question they're given as, first sub question they're given as 1 by 2x plus 1 by 3y equal to 2, and the second equation is 1 by 3x plus 1 by 2y equal to 13 by 6. Right, now what we have to do guys, let's go to the solution part. I'll be doing the first sub question now. In the solution part, as I said, you first step is the assumption step. When the variable is in the denominator, always remember that you have to reduce them, correct, right? If it is in numerator and if the numbers are in denominator, which means you have to take the LCM and then reduce them. But if the variable itself is in denominator, always remember that we have to reduce them by substituting them with some other value. That is, we have to assume like 1 by x equal to p. Let 1 by x equal to p and 1 by y equal to q. This will be the first assumption step. After assuming this equation will be converted into, say if you see here 1 by x is there, right? It will become equal to p by 2. So 2 will be down here itself. Only 1 by x we are converting into p, right? So this will become like p by 2 and this will become like plus 1 by y will become equal to q. So it will become like q by 3 equal to 2. This will become your first equation after this substitution step, right? The second equation will become equal to p by 3 because it is 3 down. 1 by x is p plus 1 by y becomes q, so it becomes q by 2 equal to 13 by 6. So these are the two equations which we have reduced now after substituting. Now guys, if you see the variables, even p and q are variables, right? It has come in the numerator part. In the denominator part, numbers have come. Earlier what was happening? The variable was in denominator. Here in denominator there is no variable. Variable is only in the numerator, which means now you can take the LCM and reduce them into the linear form. Getting it? That's the purpose of substituting these values guys. Now let's take the LCM and further reduce them. Now if you take the LCM of 2 and 3, it becomes equal to 6. So this into 3 and q into 2, it becomes equal to 3p plus 2q by whole 6 equal to 2. And then let's take the LCM for this one as well. This becomes into 2 and this becomes into 3. So this will become 2p plus 3q the whole by 6 equal to 13 by 6. Right, now if you see 6 and 6 will get cancelled, right? Because both are in the denominator. It will get cancelled. Remember this thing guys, if both the 6 are in denominator, if at all if both the numbers, same numbers are in denominator or same numbers are in the numerator, you can cancel them up. Correct? No, because anyhow they'll get divided only at last and they'll get cancelled up. So this became your first equation. Now I'll cross multiply this. 6 into 2, what will happen? It will become 12, right? So I'll directly write it 12 here. Getting it guys? And 6 got cancelled out. So this became your second equation, no? So this became your first equation and this became your second equation. Now we have to solve these two to get the value of p and q. Getting it guys? Right. So now if you see guys, which method we'll adopt? We will take, just a minute guys. Okay, we will do this one, elimination method itself, because here if you see, here 3p is there and here 2p is there. If you multiply this entire equation with 3 and the entire equation with 2, this both will become 6p. Then 6p we can cancel it up. So multiplying equation 1 into 2 and multiplying equation 2 into 3. So now after multiplication I'll write what equations you'll get it. I'll write it here. So this will become like 6p plus 4q equal to 24, right? Of that, equation 2 will become equal to 6p plus 9q equal to 39. Done. Now we can do the elimination method. Now I'll subtract this. Plus becomes minus, plus becomes minus, plus becomes minus. These two will get cancelled out. So this will become minus 5q equal to minus 39 plus 24 is it is 15, right? It is minus 15. Now here again if you see minus minus will get cancelled. So q will become equal to 15 by 5. It will become equal to 3. So q became equal to 3. Now let's put back the value of q in any of these two equations to get the value of p. You can put in any of these two equations as well. If you put the value of q in equation 1, okay, so I'll write it here. Putting the value of q in equation 1, it will become like 3p plus 2 into q, that is 3 equal to 12, right? Now let's find the solution. 3p plus 6 equal to 12, right? 3p will take 6 other side, it becomes like 3p equal to 6. So p will become equal to 6 by 3, which is nothing but equal to 2. So we found the value of p as 2 and we found the value of q as 3. We found the value of q as 3, right? Now we have to find the value of x and y. We'll do it here. So we'll substitute back into these two assumptions. We assumed p to be 2, so 1 by x equal to 2, and then we assumed 1 by y equal to q, right? Q we found as 3. Now let's find the value of 2, I mean q, x and y. Now we will cross multiply this, it will become 2x equal to 1. Here y will become equal to 3y equal to 1, correct? No. And here x will become equal to 1 by 2, and here y will become equal to 1 by 3. Correct, we got pq value and we also got xy value. Right, now let's verify this value of x and y. How will you verify? Substituting those two values back into these two equations. You should see that if LHS will become equal to RHS, then we'll say it is verified. So we'll do the verification step here. Right, I'll put the values of x and y back into these two equations. So I'll first put in equation 1 by 2 into x is 1 by 2, right, plus 1 by 3 into 1 by 3. We should see whether this comes out to be equal to 2, because in RHS we should get 2. So here 2 will get cancelled up, right? This one is in division with this one. 2 will get cancelled up. So here in denominator only 1 is left out. So it's 1 by 1 equal to 1. And again here 3 will get cancelled up. So it is 1. 1 by 1 is also 1. So 1 plus 1 is nothing but equal to 2. Hence verified. So the first equation we verified the value of x and y. Now let's verify with the second equation. It is like 1 by 3 into 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 into 1 by 3. We should see whether it will be equal to 13 by 6. Now if you see what it will happen, guys, 1 by 2 when it goes up, here it's not getting cancelled, right? So we will make it to go up. That time what it will happen, it will become like 2 by 3. Getting it? This 1 by 2 will go up and get inverted. Plus here again 1 by 3 will go up and get inverted. That's the law of algebra, guys, right? Now we have to do the addition. So we'll take the LCM. So into 3 and this one is into 2. This becomes 4 plus 9, nothing but equal to 13. By here LCM was 6. 13 by 6, we got it. Yeah, hence proved. Getting it? I mean, hence verified. That's it, guys. As simple as that. Getting it? So the first sub question is over. So I'll briefly tell you what we did, guys. So we first saw the equation, right? So in the question also they gave that we have to solve this using the reducible method. So by that time only we got to know that we have to first assume this variables, that 1 by x equal to p. And also if you see in the equations, you'll get to know that the variable is in the denominator term, which means you have to go with the substitution method only, that is substituting after assuming like this, that is 1 by x equal to p, or 1 by and 1 by equal to q, or else you can substitute with any other variable also, u and v, but generally we use p and q because that's how we have come on using it. So we'll assume like this, and then we'll replace this value back into the equations. We'll get an equation like this. Now in this equation, what advantage we have is the variable is in the numerator part, whereas previously it was in denominator. So what we can do, we can take the LCM. It gave us the advantage of taking the LCM. We took the LCM and then we made it into a linear equation. So from fractional we came back to linear. So it's always easy to solve a linear equation. That's how we'll be doing, right? We can solve only linear. Fractional, we have not learnt a method to solve. So when it's fractional, you have to find some way to make it into linear. So that way is reduction method. Getting it? After we made it into linear, we solved it using the elimination method. After solving into elimination method, we found the value of p and q. Those p and q we equated back into the assumptions and we found the value of x and y. And then we verified whether x and y are correct using these two equations, substituting it back. It came to be correct. Then finally we concluded the question. That's it, guys. Now I'll move aside. You can take the screenshot. After this, let's go to the second sub question. Okay guys, now let's go to the second sub question. Second sub question says 2 by root of x plus 3 by root of 9 equal to 2, and the second equation of the second sub question is 4 by root of x minus 9 by root of y equal to -1. Now we have to solve them to find the values of x and y. Right, so here what will be the substitutions, guys? You have to substitute it, right? You have to reduce it, right? For that you will be doing like p equal to 1 by root x. Let us take p equal to 1 by root x, and let's take q equal to 1 by root y. As simple as that, guys. Now what we'll do, we'll substitute the value of p and q back into the equations and reduce it to a linear form. That time it becomes like 2p. This will become, first equation will become 2p plus 3q equal to 2, and the second equation will become 4p minus 9q equal to -1. Now we have to solve them. So which method shall we do? Let's solve it, guys. We'll do by elimination method itself, because here it is 3q and here it is 9q. So if you multiply the first equation with 3, it will become 9q as well. So 9q plus 9q and minus 9q will get cancelled, right? So elimination method is the best for this. So we have to multiply equation 1 with into 3. That time what it will happen? It will become like 6p plus 9q equal to 6. And second equation will become 4p. It will be as it is, 9q equal to -1. Now if you see, guys, plus 9q and minus 9q will get cancelled. So got cancelled. Here 6p plus 4p becomes equal to 10p. 10p equal to -1 plus 6 equal to 5. So p becomes equal to 5 by 10, which is nothing but equal to 1 by 2. So this came the value of p. Now let's put back the value of p in any of these two equations and find the value of q, right? Putting in equation 1. Now what it will happen? It will become like 2 into p, that is 2 into half plus 3q equal to 2. So 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So 1 plus 3q equal to 2. That time q will become equal to 1 will go other side, it will become 1. So 2 minus 1 it will become. So 3q will become equal to 1, which means q will become equal to 1 by 3. So we got the value of p and we got the value of q. Now what we'll do, guys, we'll put these values back into the assumption and find the values of x and y. Right. Now if you put p we got as 1 by 2. 1 by 2 equal to 1 by root x, and for q what we got? 1 by 3 equal to 1 by root y. Getting it? Now from this we can find the value of x and y. Now what we'll do, guys, we'll do reciprocate it. We'll reciprocate both the terms. Getting it? Let's reciprocate it. That is, it will become 2 by 1 equal to root x, and here it will become 3 by 1 equal to root y by 1. So this by 1 means it doesn't have any value, right? It doesn't make any difference. So we can just do like 2 equal to root x, also 3 equal to root y. So x becomes equal to, we have to square it both the terms. That time this root will get cancelled. So we'll write here squaring both the sides, that time what it will happen? It will become like x equal to 4, and here it will become like y equal to 9. Getting it, guys? So finally we found the values of x and y. Now the last step which is left out is verification step, in which we have to put back the values of x and y back in the equation, these two equations, and check if they are coming to be equal to RHS. So in LHS we'll put like 2 by root of 4 is root of 4, okay, I'll write it like this only, plus 3 by root of 9 should be equal to 2. Now if you see 2 by root of 4 is nothing but 2, right? So 2 by 2 is 1, and here 3 by root of 9 is 3. So 2 by 2 plus 3 by 3, nothing but equal to 1 plus 1 equal to 2. Hence verified. Okay, right. I'll write here verification step. Correct. And then let's verify with the second equation as well. Second equation is like 4 by root of 4 minus 9 by root of 9. This becomes like 4 by 2 is nothing but equal to 2. And here it is, just a minute. Yeah, 4 by root of 4 becomes equal to 2, and here it becomes minus 9 by root of 9 is 9 by 3, nothing but equal to 3. It becomes equal to minus 1. So even the equation 2 is verified. So both the equation got verified, guys, which means the the answer which you got, x equal to 4 and y equal to 9, is correct. That's it, guys. Done with the second sub question. Now you can take the screenshot of this. Let's go to the third sub question. So now let's go to the third sub question, guys. If you see the third sub question, it is 4 by x plus 3y equal to 14 and 3 by x minus 4y equal to 23. So if you see the third question, there's only one variable in the denominator, that is x. Y is actually in the numerator itself. So there's no need to assume that y equal to q, right? There's no need to assume. We'll just assume 1 by x equal to p. That will be the only substitution we should be doing in the third question. This is a bit different, guys, only I wanted to tell you. So we'll assume that 1 by x equal to p. As simple as that. Let y be as y only. Correct? Why to simply make the question complicated, right? So we'll write as 4p. It becomes 4p plus 3y equal to 14. And this becomes 3p minus 4y equal to 23. That's it, guys. So instead of variables as x and y, it became p and y. It's fine, no, let it be any two variables. It doesn't matter, right? We have to just solve the question. That's it. So now what we'll do, guys, we'll multiply this first equation into 4 and second equation into 3. That time what will happen? This will become 12y and this one will become minus 12y. So it will get cancelled up when you add it. So we'll just do the multiplication now. 4 into this whole equation, it becomes 16p plus 12y equal to 28, or how much it becomes, 56, right? And this one will become 9p minus 12y equal to 46 plus 46, 12, 92. Done. Now we'll add it up, guys, right? Just a minute, guys. Yeah, okay, now let's add it up. If you add up, what it will become? Plus 12y and minus 12y will get cancelled, and if you add these two, it will become 22p equal to, if you add these two, it becomes 8, and 5 plus 9 is 14, 148, and then p will become equal to 148 by 22. So in which table it will get cancelled up? So I'll go on simplifying it, right? It will become like by 11. I'll divide both by, oh, we're getting p like 74 by 11. Is it correct, guys, or have I gone somewhere wrong? Let me just check it once. So 4p plus 3y equal to 14, and then 3p minus 4y equal to 23. So I multiply the first equation into 4. It becomes 16p plus 12y equal to 56. 28, 28, 28, 56. Yeah. Oh, I went wrong in one place, guys. This is into 3, right? I did into 4. So it became 92. So 23 into 3 is nothing but equal to 9. 69. Getting it? That was a mistake which I did. Small mistake. sorry guys, sorry. Let me do it properly this time. 69. So if you add them up, it becomes 5, 6, 6, 12, 125. Right. So P will become equal to 125 by 22. Now it's correct, no? Or is there some other mistake? I guess it's correct only. P will become equal to 125 by 22. But it's coming in fraction. This fraction is not getting reduced also. Will it be correct? Lots of doubt. Equal to 6p. Oh, again one more mistake I've done, guys. Oh, sorry. This is into 3, right? That time it will become 9p. That's what I was seeing. Why it's not getting reduced? This will become 25p, and here it will become by 25, which means p will become equal to 5. Getting it? Sorry guys, like I'm not able to concentrate today. I don't know why. Some mistakes are happening. Sorry for that, guys. Now it's correct, I'm pretty sure. So p equal to 5. Now we'll substitute the value of p back into any of these two equations and find the value of y, right? So I'll substitute this in equation 1. In equation 1 it will become 4 into p, that is 5, plus 3y equal to 14. Now let's find the value of y. This becomes 20 plus 3y equal to 14. So 3y will become equal to 14 minus 20. So 3y will become equal to minus 6. Y will become equal to minus 6 by 3, which is nothing but equal to minus 2. Getting it? We found the value of p as 5 and y as minus 2. Now what we have to do, guys, this assumption, this is not assumed, this was original variable, that is y only. In the original equation also it was y, so there's no need to substitute back in the assumption. We did only one assumption, that is 1 by x equal to p. So we'll put it back. So it will become like p in place of p, 5 equal to 1 by x will do. So 5x equal to 1, which means x will become equal to 1 by 5. So we found the value of y and found the value of x. Now we have to do the verification step, guys. So I'll do the verification step here. That is, we have to put these two values, that is the value of p and value of y, back into the equation, these two equations, and then we'll see if LHS will be equal to RHS. So 4 by 1 by 5. Getting it? 4 by 1 by 5 plus 3 into value of y is minus 2, no? Yeah, minus 2. We have to check whether it is equal to 14. Now if you do this, what it happens? 1 by 5 will go up and get inverted, right? That time inverted means 1 by 5 will become 5 by 1. Here 4 into 5 it will become 20, plus this is minus 6. Plus into minus is minus, so it becomes minus 6, which means it is equal to 14, which means it is correct, guys. See, LHS is coming out to be equal to RHS. So verification of the first equation done. Let's go to the verification of the second equation. It becomes like 3 by value of x is 1 by 5 minus 4 into minus 2. So this becomes like 1 by 5 will go up and become into 5. So 3 into 5 is 15. 15 minus of this becomes minus into minus becomes plus. So it becomes 8. So 15 plus 8 becomes equal to 23. Correct? No. Which means we verified the answer also. So in this step, guys, sorry a lot, guys. In this step I went wrong terribly. I did both mistakes. Only the 12y was correct actually. Even the constant term and also the p term I made the mistake in multiplication. That was a very silly mistake. I'm sorry for that. So I was not concentrating properly. I was thinking something else probably. So forgive me for that, guys. That's it. After that everything else is correct. Right, now I'll move aside. You can take the screenshot of this. Let's go to the fourth sub question. So I'll give you a small quick revision what we did, guys. So what we did was, in this question 1 by x was there, but 1 by y was not there, right? Y was already in the numerator. So in denominator there was only one variable, that was variable of x. So we just substituted only 1 with 1 by x equal to p. There was no need to substitute like 1 by y equal to q and all, right? Only with p only काम चला गया. I mean, we could do it. So we did the question, and then we formulated two equations, and then we did using the elimination method. We found the value of p first, and then we found the value of y by substituting the value of p back into equation 1. And then after finding x and y, after that finally after finding p, I substituted back into the assumption and found the value of x as well. So after finding x and y, we did the verification and got the verification as correct. That's it, guys. As simple as it. You can take the screenshot now. Let's go to the next fourth sub question after this. So now let's go to the fourth sub question, guys. Fourth sub question says 5 by x minus 1 plus 1 by y minus 2 equal to 2 and 6 by x minus 1 minus 3 by y minus 2 equal to 1. Now we have to find the values of x and y. Now if you see, guys, we have to consider 1 by x minus 1 as p and 1 by y minus 2 as q, and then we'll be able to solve them, because that time it will become, this fraction will become into linear, right? So first step is assumption step, right? So let 1 by x minus 1 be equal to p, and then 1 by y minus 2 equal to q. Now let's go ahead and plug those values back into the two equations, right? It becomes like 5p plus q equal to 2. Here it becomes 6p minus 3q equal to 1. Right, guys? Now we got these two equations. After this assumption step, we assumed 1 by x minus 1 equal to p, right? So in this 1 by x minus 1 place, we have put p. So it became 5p, and here we have put 6 into p. And here in place of 1 by y minus 2, we put q, and 3 by y minus 2 we put q, right? Then we got these two equations. Now with which method let's solve these two equations, guys? We'll do the elimination method itself, because that is easier. Because if you multiply equation 1, if you consider this as equation 1 and this as equation 2, if you multiply equation 1 with the entire equation with 3, it will become 3q, and this one is also minus 3q, they'll get cancelled up easily. So after multiplying into 3, I'll write it here. It becomes 15p plus 3q equal to 6, and this will call as equation 1. And equation 2 will do like 6p minus 3q equal to 3. I mean, it's 1, 1, 1. We are not multiplying this equation, right? It's as it is. This became equation 2. So now if we add it up, it becomes minus 3p and plus 3p will get cancelled. Here it becomes 21p, right, equal to 7. 6 plus 1 becomes equal to 7. So p will become equal to 7 by 21, which is nothing but equal to 7 1s are 7 3s are 1 by 3. So p became equal to 1 by 3. Now I'll put back the value of p in equation 2 and find the value of q, right? So I'll write here, putting back the value of p in equation 2. Just a minute, guys, the ink is getting over, I guess. It's writing lightly, so I'll just fill it up. Just 1 second. Done. So we'll put back the value of p in equation 2. It becomes 6 into p is 1 by 3 minus 3q equal to 1. So 3 1s are 3 2s are. This becomes equal to 2 minus 3q equal to 1. So we'll take 2 other side. It becomes minus 3q equal to 1 minus of 1 minus 2, which is nothing but equal to minus 1. And here minus minus will get cancelled. 3q equal to 1. So q will become equal to 1 by 3. P became equal to 1 by 3 and q also became equal to 1 by 3. Now what we'll do, guys, we'll put this value of p and q back into this assumption step and find the value of x and y. Correct? That's what we have been doing still now. So I'll put this 1 by 3 in first. P, for p, 1 by 3 equal to 1 by x minus 1. And also for q, 1 by 3 equal to 1 by y minus 2. Correct? No. Now we'll do the cross multiplication and find the value of x and y. If you cross multiply this, it becomes x minus 1 equal to 3. So x becomes equal to 3 plus 1. When 1 goes other side, it becomes 4. And here if you cross multiply, it becomes y minus 2 equal to 3. Y will become equal to 5. So x became 4 and y value we got as 5. So after this step, which step is remaining, as the verification step? Right, we'll do the verification step here. In verification, what you'll be doing, you'll put the values of x and y back into the main equation, that is these two equations. So it becomes 5 by x minus 1 is 4 minus 1 is 3 plus 1 by y minus 2. Y is 5, no, 5 minus 2 is 3 again. We should see if it is equal to 2. If you see here, 3 is same, right? So there's no need to take LCM. So we'll get a common denominator as 3. We have to just add up the numerator. 5 plus 1 becomes equal to 6. 6 by 3 becomes equal to 2. Hence, verified for the first equation. Let's verify it with the second equation as well. It becomes 6 by 4 minus 1 is 3 minus of 3 by 5 minus 2 is 3, right? We have to see whether it is equal to 1. If you see here, it becomes 3 ones are 3 twos are, this becomes 2, right? 3 ones are 3 twos are 2 minus this becomes 1 ones are, so 1 by 1 is 1, so 2 minus 1 is equal to 1, hence even this one is verified. So as simple as that, guys. Fourth question was very easy, I should say. It came out very easily without even much calculations, right? That's it, guys. It's as simple as that. So 1 by x minus 1 was there and 1 by y minus 2 was there. We first assumed they both to be equal to p and q respectively, and then we substituted p and q value back into the equation, right, in the main equation, and we got these two linear equations. And then these two linear equations we solved using the elimination method, and we found the value of p first, and then we plugged in the value of p back into equation 2 and found the value of q, correct? After finding the value of p and q, we equated them back to the assumption step where we found the value of x and y by cross multiplying it easily. After finding x and y, what we did? Always after finding x and y, the last step which we always do is substituting back into the main equation and finding and verifying if LHS comes out to be equal to RHS. It came out to be equal to RHS, hence it is also verified. So the question is done, guys. As simple as that. So the first 4 sub question of the first question is done, and guys, so that's it for this lecture, guys. Okay, so the thing is that I got few feedbacks from my friend, and they were good feedbacks actually. They said that your lectures are becoming a bit lengthier, the duration, try to reduce the duration of the lectures, because a student might not be able to concentrate to still 1 hour, right? So I felt like instead of 2 lectures, let me make it in 3 lectures, but let me reduce the timing from 1 hour, let it be like some 40 minutes. So I felt like that will be the optimum range of duration of a lecture where you will be able to concentrate well, right? So I want you to learn, guys. I want you people to learn whatever I teach. That's the thing. So only I'm trying to reduce the duration of the lecture so that you'll be able to concentrate better. So that's it for this lecture, guys. So the next four sub questions of first question will be found in the next lecture, that is in lecture 14th. So for now, that's it, guys. Meet you in the next lecture. Bye until then.